The generator buzzed softly as Ayo sat on the balcony of his family's modest house in Lagos. He stared at his laptop. "Mummy, I've just applied for a scholarship to Canada. This time, it'll work." Mama Ayo appeared, balancing a tray of steaming hamala and hay wedu soup. Her gold earrings jingled as she walked. "Ayo, you and these your scholarships. Better eat before your laptop starts eating you." Ayo laughed. "Mummy, when I make it, I'll build you a house with AC everywhere." Mama Ayo smiled. "AC? Just don't let greed carry you away, my son." Months passed, and rejection emails piled up. Frustrated, Ayo confided in his cousin Kunle during a wedding party. "Kunle, I don't know what else to do. I can't stay here forever." Kunle leaned in, his voice low. "I know people. They'll take you to Europe through Libya. Forget all this scholarship nonsense." Ayo hesitated. "Is it safe?" Kunle shrugged. "Nothing in life is safe, cousin. But once you're in Europe, all this suffering will be over. Benz, big house, everything." Desperation won. Ayo left without telling his family, joining a group of migrants heading to Libya. The journey through the Sahara Desert was a nightmare. Ayo trudged through endless sand under a blazing sun, his throat dry and his feet blistered. "Kunle didn't tell me I'd turn into roasted corn on this trip," he muttered bitterly. But things only got worse when they reached Libya. In Libya, Ayo was thrown into a crowded detention camp. The air was thick with the stench of sweat and despair. One day, Ayo whispered to a fellow detainee, "What do they want from us?" The man, his face gaunt, replied, "Money. If your family can't pay, they'll sell you. Or worse." Ayo's stomach churned. He remembered Mama Ayo's words. "Don't let greed carry you away." Days turned into weeks. Ayo was forced to work under harsh conditions, cleaning filthy toilets and carrying heavy loads. His once hopeful eyes now held only regret. At night, he scribbled on scraps of paper, "Dear Mama, I should have listened. The road I chose is filled with pain. If I ever make it back, I'll never leave you again." But there was no way to send the letters.
Ayo sat alone under the Libyan night sky, surrounded by barbed wire. The stars above reminded him of home, of Mama Ayo and her warm hamala, of his siblings laughing in the parlor. He whispered, "If only I could turn back time." Ayo's captors eventually forced him onto a rickety boat, but the journey across the sea was no better. Waves crashed against the sides, and passengers clung to each other in fear. Ayo clutched a plastic bottle containing one of his letters. "Maybe someone will find this," he whispered, as he dropped it into the sea. Ayo's journey ended, not in Europe, but back in Nigeria after being deported. He arrived at his family's house in tattered clothes, his face sunken and weary. Ayo fell to his knees. "Mummy, I was wrong. I thought I could take a shortcut, but I lost everything." Mama Ayo rushed to him, hugged him tightly, tears streaming down her face. "My son, the road to nowhere only leads to lessons. You're home now. That's all that matters." Ayo nodded, silently vowing to rebuild his life the right way.